on, wake up 나를 따라 do it like this 주저앉지 말고 그냥 do it like this.
Vibrant yellows and electrifying blues light up this song in a blaze of colors. Do It Like This carries that carefree feeling of youthfulness in every verse. The amazing bonfire you went to in 9th grade, that one time you broke your arm falling off the swing set, that one time you and your friends got in trouble for trying to start a food fight, all those memories packed into just a few notes. It's the type of song where you're reaching for the volume button, grasping for not only that extra amp, but also those 3 minutes of memories hidden in between the lines. The bouncy melody is hosted by these bratty vocals that sing more than a few interesting hooks throughout the song, and this hard-hitting track is nearly uninterrupted up until the breathtaking bridge. Carried almost solely by vocals, this is a bridge that is just barely long enough to add a well-deserved pause into this extremely powerful song. The song ends nearly as fast as it begins, and the next thing you know, you're sitting alone, reminiscing about memories you didn't even know you had. Wjsn saw the apparent lack of superhero concepts in K-pop and decided to capitalize on it in their own way. With a dreamy synth accompanied by a catchy vocal line, they deliver on this sort of modern-day Powerpuff Girls come to life. Super Yuppers is a song that doesn't do much, yet still leaves a lasting impression. The percussion line that stays as an almost constant in the song keeps the song pushing forward, while their cutesy vocals drags the song along. The 80s synth is so catchy, yet it doesn't drown out the rest of the components in the song by trying to be more than it is. And taeyoens lines only amplify this magical girl anime feel that the song has going for it. Truly a song that could only be built for the likes of Sailor Moon. Fairy-like charms grace this song with the ability to capture listeners' attention for its full runtime, despite so little actually happening in it. If the evil stepmother's curse was for the song to have no drive in the instrumental, the godmothers gifted these girls themselves with plenty of charms and cuteness to make such a simple song work. This is truly a song for the masses, and it is so nice to see someone try concepts like this out again, reviving the sort of orange caramel side of music with a much more modern take on it. Even now, I still have mixed feelings on this song, as the electronic feel and futuristic inspiration are interesting in their own rights, yet the way they're portrayed can feel a little bit off at times. A soft fantasy is ripped away right from under your feet when the chorus drops and you fall into a mechanical world with machines that tower 10 feet over your head. It's as if a soft blanket was ripped away from you right as you were about to drift into a dream. It's startling, it's alarming, and it was so unexpected I had to pause the song the first time I heard it just so I could get a grasp as to what I was listening to. And then, just as fast as you're sucked into this almost scary mechanical world, you're brought back to the soft, dreamlike fantasy. The overly saturated chorus can come off a little bit too strong at times, and personally, I think for once the pre-chorus had the opposite effect it is supposed to. There's such a jarring difference between the two that once you're invested in one, you're pulled away by the other. Both are so addicting, yet contrast in a very awkward way that leaves me with more of a questioning gaze rather than a satisfied smirk. I still really like the sort of fantasy-like future they have going for them conceptually, and I can't wait to see what comes next. Low expectations blossomed into a complete adoration for the song in a matter of 50-something seconds. I didn't expect much from the song considering it was kind of labeled as a special album, but needless to say, they caught my attention. From the opening hook, I was invested. A song that makes you want to clap and smile along to the interesting build-ups and breakdowns. By the time the pre-chorus was playing, I was on the edge of my seat, waiting to see what would come next. The tension building in my gut, and I had my fingers crossed hoping that the drop would deliver on what I wanted it to do. And deliver it did. Finally, the tension subsides as brass and strings fill the air and a satisfying drop that makes me lead into it. Such a simple love song transformed into a melody that you can't help but bounce your foot along to. This is the true meaning of puppy love, an innocent first love and a fun being complementing each other like the sun complements the moon. What better way to represent a soft crush than a song like this? This song reminds me of sunsets. Sitting, watching as the burnt oranges and soft pinks fade into navy blues and deep purples. Watching as the twinkling stars slowly fill the sky like eyes opening to watch the earth slowly spin on its axis. It's certainly not their best release, and the inspiration of the retro trend that has been so beaten and dragged into the dirt doesn't give it much of a chance to be one of their more discography-defining songs, but the soft undertones and powerful vocals tell a beautiful story nonetheless. Much like with Super Yuppers, the song itself doesn't do much and is more driven forward by the vocals. However, where Super Yuppers has the concept as a backstop, there's not much here for DM. This is without a doubt one of their better looking music videos, but honestly that's about as far as I can say that their best can get them. Their songs like Heart to Heart and Glass Shoes do this style a little bit better and have remained in my playlist for years now. And their songs like Love Bomb and DK DK show a side to them in K-pop that I feel like we don't get to see very often anymore. So while this song is definitely still a hit in its own right, as far as Promise's discography goes as a whole, I just don't think it's gonna be one of their more defining songs years from now. This is exactly what I have been waiting for. Alexa is so talented and I have been waiting for her to show off her vocals like this, and wow, was this the song to do it. The electronic synth in the chorus is not only reminiscent of her concept as a whole, but also adds an extra layer to a song that has honestly been done more times than not. The hook of the chorus is so catchy and the song as a whole has this emotionally distant feel to it despite it being a song about, well, emotions. This music video is stunning as always, and I love all the lore they always manage to hide in little Easter eggs here and there. Now that it seems we are going back to the original plot, I wonder if we'll get a different sound this time. While her music used to be somewhat of a one-trick pony, as of late I really couldn't have guessed what kind of sound she would be going for with each comeback, and I almost hope she keeps up this unpredictability factor. This is a song I have been waiting for from her, and she has impressed me and I cannot wait to see what's next. Leaning full force into their Latino pop inspiration for their debut, Love Me Like is a song that uses sounds and styles that hasn't been seen in K-pop since KARD's early debut days. And needless to say, this was a very sought out genre by fans if them doubling their album sales is anything to go off of. This song manages to take all the interesting elements of songs like Ola Ola, Lo Siento, and Señorita and add them into this Omega X loud, noisy sort of style. I feel like with this comeback, they finally found their style and how they'll be conducting business from now on. Their interesting choreography tones down a bit from some of their earlier, more hard-hitting tracks, and eases into this more chic, sensual sort of vibe. The instrumental, while still very hard-hitting, has much less components to it and is more driven forward by this whistle-like flute instead of a bunch of messy synths. My only fear at this point is their numbers. 11 members is no small amount, and while I think their company is marketing them as a group phenomenally well, as far as individuals, I still think they're gonna need a bit more time to flesh that part out. With that said, this was an amazing comeback and I cannot wait to see where they'll go from here. They're doing so much better than I honestly thought they would, sorry y'all, but I did have my doubts, and I feel like they really have a chance to make it big this time. This is a very ambitious project and I really don't want to jinx it, but they're doing so well right now and I really do hope for their best. Let's make K-pop fun again, they said as they created the banger of the decade. Cancel the 2020s, this song already won the battle and is preparing for the next 10. This song is so amazing I almost didn't realize it was a COVID song. Just Breathe is really the breather we needed in a time like this. The lyrics tell an all too familiar tale of the hardships everyone has faced the last few years, describing the feelings of loneliness we've all felt and how crazy the four boring white walls of our house can make us feel. Meanwhile, the music video depicts these feelings of insanity and the hopefully not so distant dream of being able to get back to our regular lives again. The structure of the song is all over the place and there are more extra little bits thrown in than I can count, but it all works out somehow or another in the end. The breakdown after the first chorus adds so much to an already packed song, and Rocky's dance deserves to be written in the history books. This is one of those songs that I think everybody can relate to right now, and if you haven't heard it, I definitely recommend you check it out. It really is like a breath of fresh air during a tough time. Astro is one of those groups that never failed to put a smile on my face, and these two delivered on this and then some. 3 days into the year, and Blitzers had already released one of the hardest hitting songs that we're going to get. Even Dreamcatcher might have trouble beating this one this year. I'm a sucker for music like this, and I promise releasing a good rock song is like a one-way ticket into my heart, especially when it's this hard hitting. The budget was low, but they used every last drop out of it. The drums of the song is just amazing. They're so loud and so attention-grabbing in the best way possible, only allowing for a little bit of room for some downright amazing guitar in between. And wow, the reverb on that guitar, I am obsessed. There's really only so much to say. It's just a good, hard song. But I feel like with this comeback, Blitzers have really solidified their sound, and it's always really interesting to see groups with such an obvious image and concept that you can describe it in just a few words. I am really so excited to see what they're going to do next. I can tell that they are going to be doing amazing things.